Well, I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for, my whole life pretty much.
First Celtics game was back when I was like 7
The
years old.
Boston Celtics became legendary.
What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Jess Almeida here on YouTube and on Beantown Takes, and today we are reacting to a video involving the Boston Celtics trade deadline and what four realistic trade candidates should the Celtics be targeting at this year's trade deadline. Now, I wrote an article about this on my website. You guys can go on my website and read that article. The link is in the description down below. 4 names off the top of my head that I thought that the Celtics should target. That was P.J. Washington of the Charlotte Hornets. He's 23 years old. He's a young 3-and-D guy. The Charlotte Hornets aren't at a good spot right now. Maybe they'll look to dump him off somewhere and get some picks. Another name that I said was Jakob Poeltl of the San Antonio Spurs. That's another name that is going to be heading into the restricted free agency this year that San Antonio Spurs might look to ship off because, again, they're in a rebuild. So picks to them mean more than anything right now. And the other 2 names that I said was Malik Beasley. The long shot to me was Jay Crowder because, yeah, he hasn't played for a while. He doesn't want to be on the bench, on a bench role or whatever. But if you can get him to be on a bench role, that would be a great pickup for the Celtics for sure. And the last name that I said, who was the last name that I said? If you guys want to read it, you guys can see what I said. The link's in the description down below. And we'll see what Forsberg says. We'll see what Forsberg's big 4 trade candidates are for the Celtics this trade deadline here. I will be on live stream the night before the trade deadline and the day of the trade deadline too. So make sure you guys come on the live stream for that. Come hang out. We'll be breaking down all the news for the NBA, so on and so forth. I think the Celtics realistically need wing depth and possibly another backup big. So those are the 2 that I would look for the Celtics. But again, the Celtics are in a good spot. As you can see, they're first in the NBA right now. They are 3rd in offensive rankings. They are 5th in defensive ranking. And their net ranking is 1st in the league. So they're in a good spot. They don't have to make a deal if they're not comfortable with what they're giving out. What I have been hearing is Grant Williams wanting 18 to 20 million. I'm not sure if he's worth that. You can make the case that he is or he isn't. I mean, for this Celtics team, probably he could be because he is kind of like a Draymond Green in a way, but can actually shoot the ball. He's playing 28 minutes a game. I don't know if he wants a starting role or not, but he is playing legitimate minutes. And if he is getting those minutes and he puts up good numbers or whatnot, maybe he is worth. If you could find an upgrade for Grant Williams and maybe have a little bit of control, I would definitely look to move Grant Williams. But again, there's no pressure moving your guys right now. You're in a good spot. The only thing you should be doing is adding to this roster. You have a couple of trade player exceptions also that you could use where you don't have to really give up anything. You could just trade away picks if a deal comes up like that. A player that I will say that the Celtics should look to trade is Peyton Pritchard. He's been looking for a bigger role. The point guard depth is through the roof for the Celtics right now with Derek White, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown as a guard depth also. I mean, you got to add Brown in there also. So the guard depth is there right now, and Peyton Pritchard is kind of on the back end of that depth, and he's on a young contract, a rookie contract, so he wants a bigger role, obviously, which he deserves, understandably. So if there's anybody on this team that you should look to ship off right now, I think it should be Peyton Pritchard because I think you could get a decent deal for him going forward. But that would be really the only move that I would say the Celtics could ship out. Obviously, there's Justin Jackson, Luke Cornett. You know what I mean? The back of the bench that you could also move as well. But in terms of like what they're using right now, like Grant, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, I would even move Sam Hauser, honestly. He's been on a regression recently. He started off hot in the beginning of the year, but now he's came down a little bit. I'd look to move him possibly, but I think you're all right now. Definitely, if they don't make a move, though, they should definitely look at the buyout market after the trade deadline. I heard that they could be interested in Kevin Love. That would be a nice move for the Celtics, honestly. Adding Kevin Love coming off the bench. That would be fantastic, honestly, especially with Gallo being out right now. I think that would be a fantastic move. But let's see what NBC Sports Boston says. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Links in the description down below. Without further ado, let's hop straight into this video.
It is trade season. Ooh. So why not fire up the old trade machine, Forsberg? And that's where we're going to go today for Forsberg's 4. And where do you want to start? Who do you like as the Celtics potentially try to strengthen what is already possibly the best roster in the NBA?
So let me set it up with a preamble. Is that, you know, sometimes I get worried. Like, I don't know if the team needs to make a move this year.
Right.
In past years, I felt like if they were going to make a launch last year, they needed to move forward. They needed to go get a Derek White and be better. But this year, I think you could just kind of cobble it through what you've got. I don't know if people are
Reed.
going to be better. But
I almost put him in my article. I almost did.
Segment. So I went and found 4 guys that I would be willing to make trades for, that I think can help this roster, maybe help this team now and deeper into the future. And it starts with Naz Reid up in Minnesota. One of my favorite players. I love his energy.
Oh, Kelly Olynyk was the other name. How could I forget about old ass Olynyk? As Celtics fans would say, the next Larry Bird. They joked about that, but you know, I didn't say that. But
in the same front court, I would love it. Now you're telling me, Forsberg, Karl Anthony Towns has been injured. Naz Reid was a starter, had a great December. Why would the Minnesota Timberwolves even consider this?
Yeah, why would the...
Well, they have 1,000 bigs, and when Karl Anthony Towns
I want to say Naz Reid is a good defensive center, so having him on the bench would be fantastic because he kind of replicates Rob Williams' game.
He just signed as a free agent last offseason. So Celtics swoop in and say, hey, take this nice Peyton Pritchard, salaries match, maybe sweeten it a little bit, I don't know.
Right.
And then you get another big who helps you navigate the season, and potentially you can re-sign. Let's say this. I don't think Naz Reid's going to go above the mid-level money next year.
Right.
If you did sign him at, say, $10 million per season, you still have 3 bigs, Al, Rob, and Naz Reid at something like $31 million.
Nice.
That's a bargain. That's a bargain. They have so many big men. Actually, Minnesota. I was watching a random game a couple weeks ago, and Luka Garza was going.
Yes.
I was like, he's on Minnesota too. It's crazy. All right, who you got at number 2?
All right, number 2 is P.J. Washington.
Yep, he was on my article.
Hornets. And so, like, look, the Hornets are a hot mess. Like, fire sale is coming. I don't know which guys they're going to move out, and PJ could be one that they might want to retain, but he's heading for restricted free agency, and we just saw this with Rui Hachimura. There are opportunities.
Sorry, I gotta check Twitter too to see if make any moves.
So if Charlotte's sitting there and going, look, we're not going to be good for 3-4 more years, we're probably going to tank and go for Wembanyama and all that, then maybe they want to just kind of move and get assets while they can.
Right.
And I would throw Jalen McDaniels in this conversation as well, like young players that I just don't know what Charlotte's plan is, which is probably why they're so bad as it is. But P.J. Washington,
Jalen McDaniels, that's another nice name too.
The thing is, you could stretch the floor a little bit with him. I think he would thrive in a situation like this and playing on a better team and playing with better spacing. And so I do think he's sort of also the guy that could replace Al further down the road as a starter. And I think he'd have to go.
Another big name, another name that I almost put on my list. He's injured right now for the Hornets, but this was somebody that I almost was debating to put on this list too. Kelly Oubre Jr. He's on a $12 million deal for, I believe it's 1 season left. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But again, he's a solid player. If you put him on the bench, I think he could be a very good fit for your wing depth at the moment. That's somebody who I almost did put on that article as well. I'm going to go on a little talk about the deal of the rumor that everybody is talking about right now. I'm going to save that for the end because I have kind of a mindset of like what the Celtics should do if they're interested in this guy, but I'm more against it than I am for it. And I am a big fan of this player. We'll talk about that at the end of the video.
Big, maybe it's Rob and PJ, or but you figure that stuff out. I just think it's a low-cost player that you could potentially go get. So it's on my radar.
I do like the fact that he does continue to stretch the floor there, and he do provide some point shooting as well.
Moving PJ Washington
to the lineup when he's out there. Who do you got at number 3?
Could he get 18 to 20? 18 to 20 million? I'm not sure.
Almost forgot my own list. But so the
Alec Burke, huh? That's actually an interesting name.
They were supposed to be competitive this year.
What is their plan? I have no idea. So I'm just going over their roster, and Burks makes the most
Wait,
sense.
wait. Detroit was supposed to be competitive? Says who? Who said that? Really? The Pistons competitive? In the same sentence? I know we're trying to be nice to some of these teams that here and trying to be like, hey, you can definitely help us out. I mean, you had a good run or whatever. I know we're trying to be nice to them, but like, hey, they were never competing for anything this year.
Because he's a veteran guy who, like, is actually having a very good season, shooting, I think, a career best beyond the three-point arc, and averaging something like 12 points per game. He'd be the perfect sort of another wing to help offset what Jalen and Jason are playing, maybe bring their minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know how much of a role he would play in the postseason, but there would be a chance. So why not investigate something like that? I will say the one I really wanted to put in there was Sadiq Bey. And, maybe make up for a couple.
Yes, he just moved to the bench too for Detroit. I heard something where the Celtics could possibly make a package to get both Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart. Oh man, if the Celtics could somehow pull that off, woo! That'd be one, honestly, where I would look at Grant and say, alright, I'm sorry, but you might have to be out of here.
But years ago when you should have just drafted Sadiq Bey, and yet, I have no idea what the Pistons are doing. Like, maybe they want to keep him, maybe they don't, so I'd make a call and just find out anyway.
Okay, I think Alec Burks went to Colorado, didn't he? I believe he did, which means Eddie House, by the way, would like him too, because he would play for Tad Boyle. All right, who you got at number 4?
All right, number 4, I wanted to throw OG Anunoby on here because
Portal,
I think
yep,
that there's
another
a
one.
chance that the Raptors will make a crazy move. But
Who do they say? Anunoby?
Okay, so I
Really?
Real smoke with the rumors.
I don't know about Anunoby, guy.
And there's some pain points. One, you'd have
Unless
to
we
sub
don't give a shit
Gallinari.
about our first round picks at all.
You could sub
Which
Justin
could
Johnson
very
for
well be
Justin
possible
Johnson,
if
but
we
on the Spurs, I want stuff.
plan
You
on
could pick
keeping
up
Jalen
Gallinari,
Brown.
whether it's an option, you probably
It could be
have to do the
possible
deal
if Jalen Brown wants to
first
be
round
here
pick.
for the long term.
And then you have to pay Jakob Poeltl next year when he could be making, I don't know, $18 million.
Excuse me for the starter.
So you got to decide.
Trying to
if
get
it's
my
all
thoughts
worth it, and if you're
together.
invested, and you can definitely keep
It's going to
him.
be an interesting trade
Alexander
deadline for
Hadley's
sure.
probably the best available big man at a reasonable rate. Like, you could overspend for Miles Turner or whatever, but if that's a real thing, and
Yeah, Turner's not
Brown
going
and
anywhere
Brad
now.
love each other and talk a lot, so I just kind of got to keep that window open.
And, okay, we are at the end of the video. Now on to the big rumor that has sparked up again in terms of the Celtics. The KD to Boston rumors. Now, there was a report today, as I'm recording this. It is February 7th. There was a report today that Brooklyn is trying to talk to Durant about their direction with the franchise. There has been no statement from Kevin Durant saying that he wants a trade yet. So, it doesn't look like the Brooklyn Nets are going to be trading Kevin Durant this season. Let's revisit. If you guys heard me in the summer of last year, these rumors sparked up. The only way I am trading Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant is if Jaylen Brown does not want to be here. That's the only way that I am doing that. But other than that, I'm out. I don't believe Jaylen Brown doesn't want. I don't believe Jaylen Brown wants to leave. I believe he wants to stay here for the future. So in that case, I am out. But let's play around real quick. Let's play around real quick. If we could pair up KD, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum together, would you guys do it? Here's my best offer if I wanted Kevin Durant on the Celtics, okay? And I know you guys are going to be like, no way, not doing it, blah, blah, blah. But hear me out. Hear me out. My deal would be Al Horford, Derek White, Grant Williams, and first-round picks. That'd be my deal. Because on Brooklyn's side, you're getting 2 young, good players out of the deal. Right? You're getting 2 solid young players. You're going to get Al Horford, who can mentor the young guys that you already have. I mean, you could with KD, but KD wants to win now, obviously. So, I mean, there's that. I'm just hypothetically saying that if KD wants out, right? Al Horford to mentor the young guys. You get first-round draft picks back from what you lost with the James Harden deal, right? For the Celtics, however, right? Yeah, your depth gets a little bit smaller, but that could open time for Blake Griffin a little bit. That you could open time for Peyton Pritchard even, moving Derek White. So you really kind of don't lose there. Peyton Pritchard's a good player, right? He deserves a bigger role, right? Moving Derek White would open up that bigger role for Peyton Pritchard. Blake Griffin has played pretty good for the most part when he's on the floor this year. Could open some minutes there also. Maybe not much, but it could open up some. When Gallo comes back, that could open up something there. You could even still explore the buyout market to replace some of that depth that you lost from the Durant deal, right? And now your starting five is this. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Robert Williams. Tell me that's not a fantastic starting five. That is Golden State Warriors 2.0 all over again. I'd do it if I was the Celtics. I wouldn't really mess around with anything right now. You're the number 1 seed. But, I mean, if the door is open for Kevin Durant to come to Boston, I think you definitely have to make a call. If Jaylen Brown doesn't want to be here, then I think you have to consider it. But I don't think that's the case. I think Jaylen Brown wants to be here with Jason Tatum, win a championship here with Tatum. So in that case, you don't do it for Brown. You don't do it for Marcus Smart either, because you saw how much of a step back they've taken with their ball movement. You realize how important Marcus Smart is at point guard for this team. So, you don't include Tatum, you don't include Brown, you don't include Smart. That's just bottom line. You want to have a discussion about everybody else after that? I think we could have that discussion. I really think we could have the discussion. But it's just a matter of would Brooklyn do it? I'm not so sure if Brooklyn would do it. But anyways, that's just my thoughts on the Durant side. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Once again, go read my article on the trade deadline. Links in the description down below. And be sure to tune in on our live stream Wednesday night and Thursday at noontime, I would say. Noontime, I'll go live. That's when, like, we'll reach crunch time towards the trade deadline or whatever. So I'll be live then. Other than that, it's been your boy Jesse. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.